Hey guys, Cinema Sickness here. Just hanging out in the library, which a lot of you have been asking me recently, when will there be a library tour? And the answer to that is soon. I want to do one right before I head off to Disney. I leave on the 25th for Disney, so I'd say the 24th, maybe 25th, you will have a new library tour video. So it is coming. Just give it a couple weeks. It'll be here. I promise you. The place is pretty much done. A few little decor things I want to get. And at that point, it'll be done. Anyway, so I just want to get that out of the way before you guys ask me 100 more times when the library tour is coming. Now you know. Very soon. So, there's no hunting video today. I do apologize for that. I can't hunt every day. I mean, I would love to, but some days I just get busy and don't get a chance to get out. And that's pretty much how today went. Just a busy day. Didn't get a chance to go out today and do any hunting. So, figured I'd just do a little video here where I talk to you guys. And what I want to talk to you about is another question I've been getting asked, I guess, over the last week or so. And that's my thoughts on UltraViolet. And by UltraViolet, I mean like the digital movie provider, whatever you want to call it. Basically, when you buy a DVD or Blu-ray and it says it comes with an UltraViolet digital copy, that's what I'm talking about, the UltraViolet service. And the reason why I've been getting asked a lot recently, my thoughts on that program, is because about a week ago, I put a message out on my website, on Facebook, I think Twitter, Instagram, basically saying if anybody has any extra UltraViolet codes, please send them my way. And from that, I got a lot of people going, well, why do you want these? I thought you didn't like UltraViolet. So I want to give you my thoughts on the UltraViolet program and let you guys know what I actually think about it, because I got to be honest, my first initial my thoughts on the program weren't really based on really diving into it. I basically downloaded like 2 movies, and that was my base. That was me judging it, judging the program based on 2 downloads, and that I did like a year ago or longer ago. So maybe I wasn't really fair in judging UltraViolet. I didn't really give it a good try. So over the last week, I've actually been really trying it out. I've been trying all the different services. I've been watching movies on my TV. I've been watching movies on my computer. I've tried streaming. I've tried downloading. I've kind of tried everything, all the different ways to use UltraViolet, at least all the ways that I know of anyway as of right now. So I guess now I can give you my proper thoughts on UltraViolet, and if I can get comfy here in the chair, and let you know what I really think about it. So I still think UltraViolet is a fun, UltraViolet or really any digital copies for that matter, whether it's iTunes, UltraViolet, whatever. I think it's a fun idea to go along with physical media. I don't think this should be the new way of doing media. I don't think physical media should die out. Everything should go digital. And the reason for that is because, I already talked to you guys about this before. I've done a whole video on why I really don't like things going digital. And a lot of that was based on the idea of, the fact that in the future, I still think we're going to lose all our media. If, let's say, physical media dies, everything is now digital. That's what we're working off of. We only have digital to go with now. I think that, an X amount of years from whenever digital is 100% taken over, that's the only thing you can choose from. X amount of years later, they'll come out with some new format, something, a different type of digital format, or something that's not even digital, something we haven't even thought of yet. Something that hasn't even been invented yet, or something like that. Something else come along, and then all those digital movies, the service that we use to either play it, or get them, or stream them, or anything like that, will be gone, and we'll just lose out. It's not like my VHS, or DVDs, or Blu-ray, or something like that, where in X amount of years from now, they'll still be sitting on these shelves. I can still watch them. As long as I take good care of them and store them properly, they'll probably last me until the day I die. I mean, I know my VHS tapes, maybe not. They'll start to go. But, I mean, my DVDs, as long as I take good care of them, there's really no reason they shouldn't last me the rest of my life. I know a lot of people say DVDs have, only a certain amount of shelf life, but from what I've been reading, yes, they will go bad eventually, but not in my lifetime. it's going to be years and years and years and years, and, decades until it gets to the point where they're all not working anymore. So I'll still have my DVDs. I'll still have my Blu-rays. I'll still have my Laserdiscs, all that stuff I can watch movies on. But I think that anything that I download digitally will someday be gone. It won't be available anymore. And I know a lot of people will say things like, no, we'll always have them. We'll have them in sort of the cloud, or you'll be able to back them up and whatnot. And it's like, well, yes, but it's not like a DVD where you just take it, and as long as you have a working DVD player and a working DVD, you're good to go. You have to have a program that'll still play your movies. That has to be available. Your movies will either still have to be stored in some kind of cloud, which will only be there as long as the provider allows it to be. If the provider shuts down that cloud service or shuts down the movies within that cloud service, they're gone. You don't get them back. If you back them up, you might still be able to play them on the program, but there might be like copyright or some kind of protection on it that won't allow them to play. Or there can be all sorts of things. You can really be forced into having to go to a new format. I guarantee these companies won't do it right away. They'll be like, oh, no, you're good to go. And then like 5 years after the new format, or even 10 years after the new format is around, they'll just out that. And that's a problem. A lot of people after, let's say they do 10 years. Let's say a digital format's out, 10, 20 years, something like that passes, a new format comes out. They'll maybe for like the next 10 years or so, maybe you can use that digital format. Maybe you're good to go. But after 10 years, people will start forgetting about it, and everybody will have moved on to the new thing, and they're going to just shut that shit down. And a lot of people, might not necessarily care, but for collectors like me, people who maybe spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on some digital collection, have all these movies, you might not want to rebuy every single one of them on the new format, and you're going to lose out. So, but I'm really getting off topic here. I've already talked about this before. I don't want to rant and rave about my thoughts on the digital format. I just want to talk about UltraViolet, really. I'm not even going to talk about iTunes. iTunes digital copies, they're okay. My only issue with that is the fact that it's iTunes. You have to... I mean, everybody can get iTunes. You just download a computer. But if you want to take them with you, you either have to have a laptop with iTunes on it, or you gotta have like an iTunes, like an iPhone or an iPod or a iPad or something like that. So it's iTunes digital copies, are nice and all, but they're just one program. You're kind of stuck to using, you're stuck to using Apple basically. You're stuck to using iTunes. If something you have doesn't have iTunes on it, or you don't have like Apple TV or anything like that, you're kind of screwed. You're just stuck to Apple. But I don't mind iTunes digital copies. They're cool, but they are a little restricting. So again, let's get right down to UltraViolet. That's really what I want to talk about. UltraViolet, my thoughts on the program. Like I said, UltraViolet is a decent idea. I think. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's kind of cool actually, as long as it is like it is right now, coinciding with physical media. As long as I still have my DVD or my Blu-ray or whatever, I like getting a digital copy because I like the idea of what UltraViolet is trying to do. UltraViolet is really trying to push the idea of being able to watch your downloaded movie anywhere. You'll be able to watch it on your portable devices, whether it's an iPod or an iPhone or I guess Android or another smartphone or whatever kind of portable devices there are. I guess your iPad or your notepad or what the fuck are those things are called? Notebooks or whatever. You'll be able to watch it anywhere on your TV, on your computer, and the cool idea also is the fact that in theory what they want to do eventually is have it so you can watch your movies on any TV. Let's say, for instance, I'm about to go to Disney World. When I go to Disney, the idea will be that I could go to Disney, flip on their TV, go to an UltraViolet app on that TV, plug in my name, password, all that stuff. Boom! There's all my movies. There's my entire library right there on the TV. I can flip through any movie, TV show, documentary, whatever it is I want to watch. It's all right there. No matter where I go, I can always watch my movies. That's a really cool idea. I think that's pretty interesting. I really, really like the thought of that. It's really cool to think that I could just go anywhere, maybe not in the world, but anywhere, let's say in the United States or something like that, be able to flip on a TV or my computer or somebody else's computer or either my iPhone or somebody else's iPhone, anything like that, whatever. Just type in my password and my screen name, and boom, there's my entire collection. Pretty cool idea. I like that. Again, I only like the idea if it coincides with physical media, because I don't like the idea of having my entire collection, at the touch of a button, but then that someday won't be available anymore. I don't like that. That's not cool. But again, something that coincides with physical media, I think that's kind of neat. I actually kind of like that. The only issue with it right now is it's not there yet. Not all TVs have an app. And all right, let's get right down to the apps. Why is there not an UltraViolet app? Now, from what I've read on the UltraViolet website, they're apparently working on one. They're like beta testing one now. Why the hell was there not an UltraViolet app from the very beginning of UltraViolet? When UltraViolet started up, they should have had apps for iPhone, Android, all TVs, all Blu-ray players. Everything should have been just shoved in with a UltraViolet app. Instead, we don't even use UltraViolet now to watch movies. We have to use things like Vudu and Flickster. Why? Why am I using Vudu? Why am I using Flickster to watch an UltraViolet app? Why am I not watching an UltraViolet movie? If I'm downloading something that's the UltraViolet digital copy, why am I not watching it on an UltraViolet app? And the real reason why I have a problem with that is because, well, I don't want to set up a Vudu account. I don't want to set up a Flickster account. I just want my UltraViolet account. Just one account. There's all my movies. I can download my movies from there. I can watch my movies from there. That's how it should be. I shouldn't have to set up different accounts for stuff. I think it's really stupid. And the fact that when I go onto my Vudu accounts, most, but not every single one of my titles shows up. And when I go onto my Flickster account, most, but not every single one of my titles shows up there either. It seems that some titles that I've downloaded from Vudu don't show up in Flickster, and some that I've downloaded from Flickster don't show up in Vudu. Kind of weird. But yet if I go to my UVVU.com, the UltraViolet website, boom, everything I've ever downloaded, it's all right there. There's not a single title missing. Everything is right there on that website, which makes you just go, why can't I not just watch movies with this? Why am I not watching movies with UltraViolet? Why am I using Flickster? Why am I using Vudu? I don't understand that. I think it's completely unnecessary. It's an unnecessary step. I don't get it. It's really stupid. But like I said, they are apparently working now on an UltraViolet app, which I don't get why it wasn't there from the get-go. It really should have been. They never should have. It never should have taken this long for an UltraViolet app to come along. And the fact that it's not even out yet is just ridiculous. Now, my new HD TV, which is right behind the camera right now, it has a Vudu app on it. So it's kind of cool that I can go onto my TV, go to my Vudu app, and there's my UltraViolet collection. Although, like I said, it's most of my titles. It's missing maybe 3 or 4 titles. And it's not a big deal. I mean, I think I have a few hundred, or not a few hundred. I think I have 120 or so, if not a little bit more, digital movies now through UltraViolet. Because A, I had a lot of codes and a lot of movies over the years I picked up. And B, a lot of you guys, when I put the word out there, if anybody had extra codes, a lot of you guys stepped up and gave me a ton of great codes, which thanks to everybody who sent me stuff. All you guys who sent me codes, that's great. You gave me a lot of good movies, which I've been watching over the last few days and testing out UltraViolet with. So thank you very much for that. So, it's really cool that my TV has that app on it. And again, that's what I like. I like the fact that, let's say when I go to Disney, now I highly doubt the TVs there will have an UltraViolet app on it, or a Flickster or Vudu app on it. But if they did, let's say, I could watch my entire collection. That would be pretty neat. But, again, it's just the issue of, your TV has to have that. And I know newer TVs are starting to come with that, but still not every TV has that. If you have a TV that's a year old, you're not going to have that. Newer TVs, sure, they're starting to come out with that stuff. But again, now I got to go out and buy an all new TV because, just to have some app. Now I realize maybe there'll be some firmware updates or something like that eventually on some TVs that maybe will allow you to get that app or something. I don't know. That'd be nice. That'd be nice at some point you could update the firmware on your TV and get a new app, or update the firmware on your Blu-ray player. Maybe there'll be an app in there or something. If they get around to doing that, That'd be kind of cool. But for now, it doesn't quite seem to be where it should be. I think this has taken way too long to just get where it needs to be. They have this whole grand scheme of, again, movies anywhere and everywhere, but it doesn't seem like it's quite there yet. And I don't think it would have been all that difficult to do that. Again, they should have just, Ultraviolet should have just said, okay, here we go, Ultraviolet apps. You go on your phone, you have an Ultraviolet app. You go on your computer, you get an Ultraviolet, either app or a program. There you go. And you want to download a movie, go to your Ultraviolet account, download that movie. That's just how it should have been. It would have been really simple and easy, and they would have bypassed this whole Flickster and Voodoo thing. I think it would have really helped out. Also, I think it's really stupid that when you get a lot of those codes, the paperwork inside your DVD or Blu-ray, a lot of them tell you to go to like, let's say Sony's website. I'll say, like, go to sony.com/ultraviolet/ the movie name or something like that. And you'll go there, and they're going to want you to sign up for a Sony account, and then you can go to your Ultraviolet, which you don't have to do that for those of you who don't know. And I got suckered into that. I thought when I first started using these, I thought I had to go to that website to download it. What I didn't realize is you can just go to, like, Flickster, open up an account with Flickster, which, again, you're going to need to watch your movies. Go to Flickster, and then set your account up, and then you can just download the movies right from there. Just type the code right into the little Flickster code box, and you can bypass going to Sony or Warner Brothers or whatever website it might be trying to not force you, but trick you into going to. So all these movie companies are trying to, like, trick you into signing up for their, like, signing up an account on their website, which I think is just kind of an asinine thing to do. Like I said, I fell for it at first. I think I signed up for, like, Sony, and then only after I did that I realized, oh, I don't need to be doing this. So again, I think it's cool in theory. I think it could be something neat. I just think they're taking way too long to get this going, and I think it's going to hurt them. I think had Ultraviolet, come right out of the gates, just showing off everything they could do, and just starting where they want to be. And, getting apps on TVs, getting apps on Blu-ray players, getting apps on phones and iPads and all that stuff. Had they really come out of the chute with that, I think it probably would have taken off a lot more. I think a lot of people would have been really into the idea. But since it just seems kind of like everything's sort of this roundabout way to get your movies and watch your movies, and you're not able to watch your movies on every single thing. You can't watch them always on your TV. You can't watch them always on your computer. You can't watch them always on your phone, depending on what phones you have and stuff. I mean, and what TVs you have and whatnot. It just doesn't seem to be all that great of a service yet. So I'm not thrilled with that. Like I said, I did try streaming. I tried downloading. I tried watching on my TV. My TV worked great. A lot of the movies are in full 1080 HD, and I loved it. I watched them right from my TV. There were no issues. I would assume maybe because it's streaming, so I would assume if you have maybe like a slow internet connection, that could be an issue. I don't, so I'm good with that. But if you did, I would assume streaming on a TV could be an issue, especially if you're streaming full HD. Definitely could be a problem for some people. But for me, it looked great. I mean, I was watching full HD movies from the Voodoo app on my TV, which is pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. I also tried watching it from my computer. Now, my computer, on the other hand, I had some issues with. Tried streaming. I was okay for some things, and then every now and then, some movies would crash. And again, I have decent internet connection. I don't have a bad internet connection. I tried it two ways. I tried it Wi-Fi, and I also tried it hooked up to Ethernet, just to see if there's a difference. And it didn't seem to be a difference. Sometimes the movie would play just fine, and then other times the movie would crash. A lot of times it was things like I think it was I want to say it was like I'm trying to think of what it was. I want to say it was like Flash that there was an issue with. I don't remember if it was Flash or not. I'm thinking it was, but it was something like that where a little thing would come up saying some program has crashed and report this crash and crap like that when trying to stream a movie, and not cool. I didn't like that. And again, it was from my computer. It seemed to work fine on my TV, but from my computer, it every now and then they would crash on me, and I had to go and restart the movie up again. That's not cool, especially for somebody like me who has decent internet connection. I feel bad for anybody who has really shitty internet connection and tries to use UltraViolet, or, well, Flickster is what I was watching them off of, tries to use Flickster, because you're probably going to have some issues. If I have issues with my internet connection, people with shitty internet connections are going to just be out of luck. I also tried downloading movies. I have a nice big sort of hard drive, so I took all my movies off Flickster, and you can download them so you can watch them offline. I did that. Download them all. They're all on my my external hard drive. That seemed to work fine. I didn't have any issues there. They all seem to play, well, not all of them, but the ones I checked seem to play just fine without using internet connection. So that's decent. At least you can download them. The only thing is, though, you're not gonna be. Most people aren't gonna be able to download them all. I mean, I have a 2 gig hard drive, so I'm fine. But if you're just downloading them on your computer, you have to pick and choose what you want. Which I guess is okay. If you're traveling, it's fine to pick and choose what you want. But, I kind of like to have my entire library with me at all times. But, yeah, so I did have some issues there. And that wasn't cool. I mean, streaming shouldn't... That's a problem. If streaming is an issue on my my computer, I tried my laptop and my my PC, and I had issues on both. And that's, kind of makes you raise an eyebrow if I'm having issues streaming movies on my good internet connection. So, I wasn't too thrilled about that. Wasn't too happy about it. So, yes, like I said, I guess I'll kind of wrap things up here. Again, UltraViolet, I think, is an interesting, or UltraViolet, or whatever kind of digital streaming, downloading format, whatever. It's an interesting idea. I like the idea of being able to watch my movies everywhere and anywhere in the future. I see that's... I'm sure that's how things are going to go. It's going to be, whether it's UltraViolet or whatever, I'm pretty sure things are going to eventually go all digital, and that's going to be the big selling point for digital media, is that you can watch it anywhere, on any device, anywhere you want. That's going to be the big selling point. And I like the idea, but again, really only if it coincides with physical media, because I don't want to someday try to log on to my whatever account and, sorry, this service is no longer available. Well, all my movies are now gone. It's going to happen. I guarantee it. These companies are not... I mean, there's no way, a company's going to come out with a program and be like, oh yes, in 50 years from now, you'll still be able to watch those movies. I can still watch my Betamax tapes. I can still watch my VHS tapes. I can still watch my CEDs. Well, not my CEDs for the most part, but my Betamax and VHS tapes still play just fine. CEDs were kind of built shitty. They don't play so fine. Still, I can watch all these old formats I have. I mean, my Laserdisc behind me right now, I got ones from the 70s back there. They play just fine. Will digital be the same way? No, it's not going to be like that. These companies are going to just say, hey, we came out with a new format. You don't have digitals. This digital format you were using, that's now dead. A new format's out. It's going to be like, DVD or VHS, dying out to DVD. It's going to be the same thing. This digital format's going to die to some other kind of digital format, or some other kind of format that, again, we haven't even begun to think of yet. It will die out someday. And it's only going to be a matter of time until all those movies you have on that digital format are gone. Whether, even if it is 50 years from now. Hey, in 50 years, some 20-year-old kid who's collecting a huge, big digital media collection, in 50 years, well, if that kid's still collecting, maybe all different formats, or maybe he's still collecting digital formats, or maybe he's, moved on to the new format, but he still likes his digital collection. He hasn't rebought all his movies on some other format. If that's the case, all those movies will be gone someday. There's no way a company's going to keep some format, that format around forever. It's not going to happen. What I would hope, and what it would be kind of nice, is if, let's say everything goes digital, you have a huge digital collection. It'd be kind of cool if some new format came out and you could maybe transfer all your titles. You buy Caddyshack in digital format, maybe the new digital format you can transfer something. But I'd be willing to bet that's not going to be free. They'll probably offer something. I could see that. I could see them offering some program where it's like, oh, you have a movie on this format. Well, now we have this new format. Transfer your movies for $2 a piece or something like that. Which, if you have 10 movies, not a big deal. But if you have thousands of movies in your collection, have fun, you know. So I don't know. But again, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm trying to talk about my thoughts on ultraviolet. Now I'm getting off on things going digital. My thoughts on that. So yeah, I guess. Sorry. All right. So I guess I'll just stop here. So again, all in all, ultraviolet, I think it's an interesting idea. You know, as what it is right now, coinciding with physical media. I think it's an interesting idea. I think it's kind of fun. You know, it has a bunch of bugs. There's things about it I don't like. I don't like using Flickster. I don't like using Vudu. I just want to use ultraviolet. I want an app on all my devices that I can just go to ultraviolet, see all my movies, rather than using Flickster or using Vudu where I can see most of my movies. I don't want most. I want all. So that's an issue. I mean, if I use Vudu, I can see if I use both programs, I can see all my movies, but I shouldn't have to do that. I should just be able to use one program, and it should be an ultraviolet program. So, yeah. So anyway, it definitely has bugs right now. There's things about it I don't like. I mean, streaming seems to be a little bit of an issue. You know, the fact that you're not using, again, an ultraviolet app, that bugs me as well. So there are things about it that I'm not a huge fan of at the moment. But all in all, again, I do think it's a somewhat interesting idea coinciding with physical media. And that's why I'm using it right now. That's why I decided to start using it. I will now be downloading all my ultraviolet codes that I get. I'll be downloading them and using the ultraviolet program. I'll start using it. But when all is said and done, I still prefer a Blu-ray. I still prefer a DVD. All those codes that you guys gave me, again, really appreciate that. But all the codes you gave me for movies I don't have yet, I'm buying those movies. All the like The Last Stand, just, you know, when you guys gave me The Last Stand, just watch it. Great movie. I will be buying that movie. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, I have it on ultraviolet. What do I need physical media for? No. I'll be buying it on Blu-ray or DVD or something. It's probably Blu-ray, but it will be in my collection. That's my physical media collection at some point. So I would never just do ultraviolet. The only there's I think there's like 2 movies I have in my collection that I only have on ultraviolet, and that's because when you sign up, they gave me I think when I signed up to ultraviolet, they gave me free movies. When I signed up to Flickster, they gave me free movies. When I signed up to Vudu, they gave me free movies. So there are a couple movies that I haven't watched yet on those accounts that they just gave to me that I've never seen, I never bought, never checked out. So I guess technically I do have a few movies that I only have in ultraviolet, but I'll get around to watching those. I'll check them out since I got it for free, see what they're like, and if I like them, I'm going to go out and buy a physical copy of it. So again, that's just my thoughts. I've been talking for a half hour. I was almost at my quick thoughts, but no, I've been talking for a half hour now, so I apologize. But those are my thoughts on ultraviolet. I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because a lot of you guys were asking me recently, you know, what's up with me and ultraviolet, since, you know, I in the past I said I don't like it, and now I'm all of a sudden downloading and watching movies with it. You know, what's up with that? So that's all. I'm just trying it out now, and now that I've sat down and really tried it out, I gotta say that I don't hate it. I just don't love it. I still prefer a DVD or a Blu-ray. When it comes down to it, I'd rather take my Blu-ray out and put it in my Blu-ray player, and that's how it's gonna be with every movie I download. It's almost a little pointless because I'll download a movie and be like, all right, I have this on ultraviolet now, and then when I want to watch that movie, I'm just gonna get my DVD or Blu-ray out anyway. The only way it's gonna come in handy is on my, let's say, my laptop. The fact that I downloaded all those movies onto my external hard drive and they're on my laptop now, and I can you know, go to Florida in a few weeks and I'll have those movies with me. So that's the only plus. Or if, you know, I hook up to Wi-Fi or Ethernet or something like that, I can watch them on there too. So that's the that's kind of the main draw for me, is the fact that I can take those movies with me anywhere. You know, that I kind of like. But at home, I'm not going to use the program. I don't plan on it, with the exception of the movies that some of you guys gave me that I don't have yet, like things like Identity Thief, Ted, Last Stand, you know, and a few other movies some of you guys gave me that I don't actually own a physical copy of yet. You know, sure, those I'll use right now. I want to check those movies out. Those I'll watch. But you know, if I buy a movie and it comes with an ultraviolet code, I'm just gonna use the disc. So anyway, so I hope I kind of answered your questions. If you have any more questions, ask away. If I get enough questions, I'll do another video, or maybe I'll just answer them in the comments. So again, if you have any questions about my thoughts on ultraviolet, if I didn't cover everything, because I'm sure I forgot some stuff, just ask. So there you go, guys. That's my just, you know, again, not really brief thoughts on the ultraviolet program. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. I'm kind of indifferent. I kind of just think, it's all right. It's an interesting idea in theory, just isn't quite where it should be yet, I think. But that's it, guys. So thanks for watching again. If you like this video, please give me a like. If you're not already subbed, please do. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my next video. See ya.